Hello, hello. Greetings and welcome, my witches. Testing 1, 2. We have an entirely different setup this week, so if you can tell me how my voice sounds compared to the drums, I would appreciate that. Ah, there I am. Nope, okay, hold on. No. This is going to be a different night. I'm going to turn these down a little bit for me. I cannot see how many are here, so I don't know. Oh, yes, I can see. There's me and somebody else. Hello, somebody else, whoever you are. You know who you are, so that's pretty sweet. And I welcome you. Blessed be. Tonight I've got an entirely different configuration set up, and I have drums coming from speakers into my voice microphone, so it's kind of wigging me out a little bit because the drums sound loud to me. Hello, Marcy. Hello, my love. Thank you. Well, yeah, that's one of the things. I got so much to talk about. It's been such a long time. But my setup tonight is wacky. And Marcy, how does it sound? How do drums versus voice sound? Because I feel like I have to yell over these speakers, and I don't think I do. So here's a normal tone of voice, and you tell me how things sound. I can turn the drums down. I'm not going to turn them up. Roxanne, hello. Hello. So I want to start off right off the bat here by saying thank you to Becca, to Laura, to Tavia, and to Roxanne, my patrons. I cannot tell you how much it means to me that you want to pony up to support this channel and support me. Humble thanks and blessings to you. Good, yay. And what's nice is I can hear the drums. Usually I don't have them turned up on my end because there will be a weird kind of laggy thing going on for you. But anyway, so I get to sit here with all kinds of drums going tonight. So yeah, and I have a new microphone. So that problem got solved. It's not a stereo microphone, but it's a new microphone. Stop. Stop, Luna. Oh, thank you, dear Roxanne. Thank you. That's, I hope so. That is my intention. So what I'm doing tonight, the only thing I've got running on my computer is my OBS. I'm got my phone over here on a little tripod as my monitor, so I can tell. So even if my computer does freeze or looks like it's freezing, because, you guys have told me it's not freezing on your end. I can sit there and everything's frozen up on my end and not on your end. So this way I can look on my phone if my computer freezes and see if things are still going, and then I just keep talking, and we don't have all the fuss, all the kerfuffle. So that's another thing. And yes, the sound is coming from a different place, so it's just all different. And today, so yes, Marcy, noticing my new cloth, I had to change. I've been cleaning the altar this week. I was talking about it on the unboxing that I put up yesterday, that when you're stuck, hello Silver Spiral, greetings to you, welcome. Stuck, been so stuck. My computer was bogging down, and just all of the everything. And I was finding it very difficult, next to impossible, to push myself in a new direction. So when all else fails, clean the altar. And I started Monday, I cleaned the top shelf. Tuesday, I cleaned that shelf. Today, I did not clean this shelf. What I did is reset this entire altar and clean everything and put a brand new cloth. I needed brightness. I needed color. I've had that purple on here for so long, and I spilled my coffee on it the other day, and it's like, okay, I will not shoot a video on that one more time. So hello, Sherry. Welcome, my dear. So went to the fabric store, and ooh, do I have some cool new fabrics for fall. But for today, I needed color and brightness and a reminder of You know, I've got color and brightness out my window here, and I wanted to mirror that here, and just something to lift my mood. Man, are we in the shit. Wouldn't you say? We are in the shit. This is, so I have a little metaphor in my mind. When you have a little tiny boat, like, you know, you're in or a jet ski, you can turn that thing on a dime, right? You can turn it all the way around on a dime. But when you're turning around an aircraft carrier, it's a long, slow process, because it's big, and big things move slowly. And for a long time, it's not gonna look like things are turning around. It's not gonna look like anything's different. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna be facing the other way. So we are in the middle of turning a big ship around, a big, big, big fucking ship around. I want to give a shout out here if you are interested in political readings. I've thought a number of times about even starting a second channel to just do political readings, and then I decided no. Marianne from Revealing Light, Tarot, Astrology, and Spirituality. So just look up Revealing Light on YouTube and you'll find her. She's an Aussie. She does the most amazing political readings. Please go to her if you need that lifeline. I watch her, and she puts up several videos a week, and she's just amazing. She really is. So she does not sugarcoat anything. She tells it to you straight, and there's always a ray of hope. So please go check out Marianne for those kinds of readings. Hello, Becca. Did you miss your shout out in the beginning? Becca, you're one of the ones I'm shouting out. You, Roxanne, and Tavia, and Laura in Florida. I hope they make it tonight. Everybody's used to it being at 8 o'clock, so if you didn't look at the time, that it might have been confusing. And we'll see how long we go tonight. And I may just have to take my drums down some, because I love them, but I'm so used to them being very low. So we'll put them a little bit more in the background here. I hope you can hear them. Anyway, I'm not going to worry, but I have to keep it up so I can hear it, because I'm not running off of a playlist. I'm running off of my iPod, which my computer doesn't recognize anymore, so I can't put my drumming playlist on it. So it's the whole Mother Drum CD. So we will go into a thing where you hear something other than drumming, and then I will have to go, oh, and back it up a couple. So we're getting down to, like, you know, nuts and bolts kind of stuff here. Laura, there you are. Hello, darling. And so you're here for your shout out. I'm shouting out my wonderful patrons, you, Becca, Tavia, Roxanne. Thank you, dear, so much. And I'm glad you checked in. I am using the Fountain Tarot tonight, and that was a gift from Laura in Florida. So thank you so very much, Laura. I know you'll catch it on the video if you can't stick around. So there's the political shit. There's the climate shit. There's the basic human rights shit, you know, and that's political shit, but boy, it needs to be, you know, it needs to be called out. And then the town where I was born and grew up in, which is 10 minutes down the road from here, is the town where Jayland Walker was executed. They shot at him 100 times, and they had a 60% hit rate. They got him 60 times. 60, not 16. So there's that. And there's this, you know, it's like, I know some people are thinking, but I didn't think it could ever happen here. Get to grips with the fact that shit can and will and does happen everywhere. No one is immune. No one is immune from the shit. No one is immune from life. Okay? And that brings me to my next thing. And that is all I will say about that, although we'll be talking about it all tonight, because we're in the shit. You know, you can't be in the shit like this and pretend you don't smell it, right? So, so the decks tonight. Let's talk about our decks. Let's do a little grounding and get that going, and then as I kind of cleanse the decks, I'll introduce you and set them aside. First of all, let me take myself out a little more here because I want you to see right here, and I will show you her more, but I want you to see the goddesses. This is one that I made. This is one that was given to me. I am looking. Spiral Heart Camp. That sounds fabulous, Becca. Yes, we need swift justice, period. We need swift justice, period. We need justice, period. End of sentence. So, as I was pulling decks out tonight, let's do our grounding, sorry. You know how I get. You know how she do get. And using the sage as a match for the rest of the sage. And that didn't work too well, so hold on. All right, I offer you this sacred smoke. Please do your ritual as you do it to join me. So you're not just watching, but participating. I am all about participation. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. And let's do this. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may you connect with Spirit. May Spirit come in. And we welcome in guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your presence here every day. Please come, bring your voice, bring your energies, bring your wisdom to these tools that I have in front of me. Use these to speak through and bring us messages. And this is my little flashy ball. We'll put it there, and then we will make sure we don't set it off by moving the desk. Okay, so if that goes off, we know we got somebody. So spirits, guides, please, you may light up this ball if you really need our attention. Just go and give it a nudge and you'll light it up. And I offer you fresh water, and I offer you sacred smoke, the fire of Azrael. Come, spirit of divination. Come, goddess. Come, the one, the all. Rise up within us. Rise up through our bodies, through our emotions, through our will, through our minds, until we become what we always have been, spirit manifest, until we become aware that we are spirit manifest. So, the decks that we have tonight, we have the Fountain Tarot, and all of these, of course, you can see the unboxings for. This deck is by, oh, we don't have it on the outside of there. Hold up. Goodness. The creators. Jason, Andy, and okay, Jonathan Says, Jason Gruel, and Andy Tadaro. All right. the fountain. Then we have The Priestess of Light by Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber. Then we have the Tara Wisdom cards. Now comes a big interlude because this is Green Tara. Let me show her to you closer. This is what's called a satsa. TSA, TSA. And the Tibetans make these in the monasteries. And whenever a lama dies, or a monk dies, and they're cremated, their ash gets mixed into the plaster that is used to make these satsas. And when they get to the end of a batch and they need more plaster, they always transfer some of the last batch into the next batch. So this was gifted to me by Prema Dasara, whose niece, Jessica Zabrine Gray, PhD, whose niece is the one that created this deck. So Tara, or Prema Dasara, yes, she is Tara, is the one that created the Tara dance practice that I talk about sometimes. And I will put a link down below to, I can't put anything in the chat just because of the way things are set up. But anyway, I will put a link to Tara Datu. That is the website. Sorry, guys. Spaced for a second there. Wait, let me catch up with some messages here. Kara? Is it Kara? Subscribe won't let me. Okay. Karina, welcome. Hello from Corpus Christi, Texas. Kara, okay. All right. So here's the Tara deck, and here's where I'm going. Sorry guys, there's a lot. When I asked the Tara deck, because I don't really work with this deck, I bought it because it's part of my Dharma practice, which I haven't done in a while, and so I haven't really used this deck. I just know it, because it's Tara's teachings. And so I asked her, and she gave me, I cut it into 3 piles, and the first pile was equanimity. And then we had freedom, and then we had Tara, all victorious. Now, Tara, Green Tara, right here, is called the root Tara. Her number is 0. And then she has 21 emanations. Is that sounding familiar to you at all, 0 and 21? And they are all her, but they are all faces of her and aspects of her. And this deck comes from the study of Tara and the Tarot. So there is a tradition that the Tarot actually began from the practice of Tara and from the goddess Tara and her 21 emanations. So hey Samantha baby, how are ya? I'm so glad you're here. So equanimity was the big one, and there's a I think I've talked about this before. Okay, now I have to see, we're going back to a thing there. Here we go. Okay, back to drums. Anyway, also, if you ever want this whole Mother Drum CD, there is a Mother Drum playlist that has this CD on it, and you can have it. You can download it. You can have it. Anyway, this is my music. So, there is a piece of text from, I believe, a Chinese Zen master, but what he said was, the great way, capital G, capital W, is not difficult for those who have no preferences. What the hell does that mean? Now, this is a place where Buddhism gets terribly skewed by Western minds, who hear like pithy phrases and lessons and do not go through to learn the Dharma, and so they take it exactly wrong. And this is kind of the danger with any sort of spiritual practice that you get into. And my recommendation is always, when you're attracted to something, as a practice, dive in head first, go for it, take it all in, try not to become a preacher about it like I can get, but go all in and really learn it from the inside, because from the outside things can be terribly, terribly misconstrued. So equanimity, the great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. What that means, and then it goes on to say, when love and hate are absent. You can also translate that as when hope and fear. Love and hope are pulling in, hate and fear are pushing away. Attachment, aversion, two forms of suffering. So when love and hate, hope and fear are absent, everything is clear and undisguised. But to make the slightest distinction, heaven and earth are set infinitely apart. Okay. What the hell does all this mean? It doesn't mean that you turn into a numbskull and that you don't have opinions about things, and that you don't have, you don't care right from wrong, or you don't know right from wrong. It doesn't mean you're apathetic. It means it's the way that you go through life. And think about this. The Buddhist monks that practice this, understand it and practice this, are also the monks that have burned themselves alive in protest against oppressive governments. So they certainly are not forming no opinions. What this means is going through day-to-day life. It means meeting every event at face value, without the shoulds and shouldn'ts, without the, ooh, I'd rather have this, without the this, because what happens then is we're in this state of constant dissatisfaction, grinding dissatisfaction. And it's suffering. That's suffering. I'm never happy, just waiting until someday I'm happy. And there was a song that Prema and her one-time musical partner, Anahata Irada, wrote this song about upekkha, which is the Tibetan word for equanimity. And they were talking about, something, the car ran out of gas or something, and pay the bills. And then they'd say equanimity. It's like, getting pissed off about paying the bills every month, or getting pissed off because my computer's 12 years old and it's doing what it does. As I was getting ready tonight and looking for something to wear, and I'm digging through my closet and I can't find this, and I step on something and I'm swearing like a fucking sailor, and this is after planning to talk to you guys about equanimity, so do not hold me up as an example. Do not. This is the human condition. But you know what? What it's about, when you lose your equanimity over the little things like that. God damn it, I can't find them. And then I stop, and then I find myself getting in a mood, and then I can stop and wait. I'd rather be happy, reclaim happy. The hardest thing in the world can be to let go of that mood thing. And when we are not slapped back and forth by our preferences each and every minute of the day, I made an egg for myself and it was just a little too salty, or you've heard yourself, I've heard myself. You get up and you want a sunny day and it's raining, and it's ruined my whole day. Now my whole day's gone. It's ruined. If you can practice equanimity, then you can see that rain is beautiful too. And just put yourself in the present moment, meeting life. And it's not accepting. They say, may we accept things as they are, but the word accept is tricky for us, because there are things that are unacceptable and that we should not accept. But I think the better word is meet things as they are. Meet life as it is, face value, you know? And then you can make choices in that moment, and you're not building up this emotional stress that's only you. You know, the thing you're pissed off at is not suffering from your piss off. You are. And it's not about denying or stuffing. It's about shifting the energy. Shifting the energy. And Tonglen practice, you know, I've done a couple of videos on Tonglen practice. So just being able to sit and go, okay, yeah, there's the anger. I don't want that anymore. Breathe it in. Off it goes. I'm changing my mind right now. You change your mind, you change your feelings. So equanimity is about meeting life as it is. And then you are empowered to look at what can I do something about? What needs something done about it? You know, it's raining, I'm pissed off. Can I do anything about that? No. I put on these pants and they're too tight and it's driving me crazy. Can I do something about that? Yes, fix it, change it, help yourself. And then come back to here now, meeting life at face value. So that's why I started cleaning the altar, because I was just in politics land, doom scrolling, and I had to save my own life. I had to pull myself out of the deep end and stop myself from drowning, and a new cloth really, really helps. So that's my little lecture on equanimity. And Tara All Victorious is number 4. She corresponds to the Emperor. So there's a whole practice, and this deck is the result of it, really, that a group in Brazil made called Tara and the Tarot, and they made dances for every one of the major arcana of the Tarot, and I have about half of them. Amazing stuff. So here's the Tara deck. And then onward we have the Lantern Oracle. You may or may not recognize that these were the 6 decks I had laid out. No, one's different. This one is different. But other than that, the other 5 decks are the ones that I had out for the last live that kept crashing. This is the Lantern Oracle, Angelina Mirabito, PhD, illustrated by Yuli Alejo. So, go there. And then this deck has never come to play on a live stream night. And I'm going to have to look everything up because they really aren't intuitive. But we will give this deck a chance. This is the Liminal Spirits by Laura Tempest Zakroff, Witches Spirit Cards. So welcome, little Liminal Spirits. And then the last is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot by Raven Phelan. And this deck has been altered. I did the sides in this super, super dark blue. All right, time to have a sip of my bubbly. Not champagne, this is blueberry pomegranate bubbly. Frickin' delicious. Okay, let me catch up. Finest frog's hair split down the middle. Root chakra is red. Yes, being conscious of the vibrations you're sending out into the world through word and deed to raise above the vibration of the things that are not vibrating at the frequency we wish to be at. Yep. Which deck? Samantha. Okay, so you guys, when you are commenting, know that there's at least a 30-second lag between when you text and when I see it. So, well, it's a 30-second lag between what I say and when you see it, and then there's a lag for me to see the text. So if you can, give me a hint of what you're talking about, because I blow right past and then it's out of my mind. So Samantha, which tarot deck? There's the Fountain, the Tara, and the Dreams of Gaia. I don't know which one you're talking about. The Lantern Oracle, yes, is wonderful. Mott deck is amazing. Yes, I do not have the Mott deck. Okay, let's start with our astrology dice. We have a Libra moon tonight, a water sun, and an air moon. Liquid and air make bubbly. Okay. What energies do we need to be focused on tonight, please? We have Saturn. Oof, Saturn in Scorpio in the 6th. All right, Saturn, the Lord of Karma. Saturn, the ruler, Saturn Scrooge, Saturn, the ruler of limitation, delay, denial, restriction, lack, tradition, conservatism. What about that? Saturn, Saturn that says you get what you pay for. And if you pay for it, you get it. That's the deal with Saturn. It's a trade-off. You put Saturn in Scorpio and it becomes inevitable. It becomes inevitable. So it is inevitable that that karma comes around. What goes around comes around, right? And it is inevitable that all the energies that have been wrought through the years that have kind of just been building up are coming up for payment due. I've said this so many times. The piper's got his hand out. And so Saturn in Scorpio can also give kind of a ruthlessness. Saturn and Capricorns being ruled by Saturn are the ones that will go, slow, steady. This is the tortoise, not the hare, right? But they will go and go and go and never stop going until they get there, no matter how long it takes, no matter how small the steps. It's determination. Saturn rules determination and discipline. But you put it in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, and there's this ruthless determination. Because Scorpio is extremes, right? Do or die. And so you can get a ruthless determination. And then we've got it in the 6th house. And 6th house talks about how we go about our work. How we view service. Where do we feel we are in service? How do we give service? And wow, I think this is kind of talking about the karmic debt that has come due as far as people working for a living, and where we are with that, with these CEO multi-billionaires and their employees at the bottom of the heap that do not have a union and are applying for food stamps. So this is that ruthless, and Saturn does rule the boss. It rules hierarchies, structure, executives. So this is talking about a radical, this going too far in the 6th house. So as far as people working, I feel like one of the things that needs to happen as far as the political shitstorm and kind of grabbing a hold of that wheel is a general strike. Unfortunately, when they get you to the place where you're living hand to mouth, and the loss of a couple days' work, let alone one paycheck, can be financially disastrous. How do you do a general strike? So I would love to see people of means supporting women in any way they can, so that if women just withdrew their service from the planet, except for taking care of your babies. If we withdrew our services of all kinds from the planet, what would happen? What would happen? So that's, I think we need to look at how hard we push ourselves. This is another thing. How hard do you push yourself at work? When do you catch yourself when you're going to an extreme? So these are the topics that are up tonight. Wow. I think there's a lot more to say on this. And, this is the way it usually goes. We look at the dice and then we go to the cards and we keep going back to the dice and back to the dice because they set the frame. Okay, and now how are we doing? See, if you're new, it's my little tiny dog. Come on, focus. Come on, focus. All right, it's a little tiny die, you can tell. So, who would like to come up first tonight? And it's number 3. The number 3 deck is the Tara deck, so Tara's up first. And I will do my best with these. The book that comes with them just says this is the name of the card. It doesn't explain. So I will do my best with the basic knowledge that I have from Tara practice. I'm just offering some Tara mantras to this deck. And I'm going to do what I did earlier, which is cut into 3 piles and see what she gives us. All right, Tara. I pray that you come, Arya Tara, bring us your wisdom. Bring us your wisdom. Bring us your wisdom. Arya Tara, Arya Tara. Arya Tara, what wisdom do we need? All right. Creative wisdom. Humility. And the banner of victory. So there are several categories. We have the majors, of course. And in the minors, we have 4 suits. And then I think it's wheels and bells and vases and vajras. So wheels are the pentacles. Bells are air, so wheels are earth, bells are air. Yes, vases are water, and vajras, which are like these, it's this, that's a vajra, okay, is a wand. So we have those, and then we have the court cards that are divided into the 8 fears, which Tara tames, and the, what are these called? The auspicious offerings. These are the dakinis and the auspicious offerings, and I don't have a lot of teachings in the offerings. But creative wisdom is the number 2 Tara, which means she corresponds to the high priestess. Do you see the moon in the back? Look at her arms. She has all of these tools. She has tools and skills. And her skills are from her practice. Look, she's got like a mala and a dorje or a vajra and a wheel and like a flag and a vase and a fan and a bell and a lotus and she's got all of the tools available to her. 10 arms. And creative wisdom is about intuition. It's about not dogmatic wisdom, but wisdom that's living and breathing. And that creates, you know, so you can shift in the moment. So when you are caught and your emotions catch you, when the shenpa hits the fan and suddenly you feel yourself caught in anger, in rage, in outrage, helplessness, whatever it is, you can in that moment say, I would like to create something else. The wisdom tells me, you know, the Dharma tells me, and this is why you study, this is why you practice. The Dharma tells me, teaches me about equanimity. And equanimity means this. How do I bring that to this present moment? Okay. I shift the energy. And then we have Tara tames the lion of pride. So this is the 8 fears come in the forms of floods, you know, big tidal waves. That's the ocean of desire, the fire of anger, the thief of wrong ideas, the elephant of stupidity, which I love. But these were things that people feared: fire, floods, fires. Elephants, lions, you know, things that were life-threatening, but each of those symbols, and this is how, okay, no, darling, no, wait, hold on. Oh. Okay. The 3 and the 4, okay, I guess it's just that 20 minutes of drumming is going by so fast. But obviously I will catch it every time. So in order to bring the Dharma, to the simple folk, who were not educated and did not study in the monasteries. They related all of these Dharma lessons to things that people could relate to, and they could relate to lions. These are life-threatening, so it's the lion of pride. And I mean, being a Leo was a tough one for me. To me, it's about not letting yourself be vulnerable, about taking on this persona of better than. It's not about feeling good when you've accomplished something. It's not about having self-esteem. Pride is about taking it beyond and setting yourself above others, and then using that, to swipe at people from that pride and that ego. So she's talking here about taking this creative wisdom and using it to really look at yourself and look at how maybe some of these things operate in your life. And and sixth house, service. Think about service and humility. What does humility mean? It doesn't mean that I'm less than you and you're great and I'm a lowly, humbly, bumbly ball of shit. It means that we are equal, that I recognize, humility is just coming home to the real self inside at face value, without covering it over with a veneer of I'm perfect and you're not. This is what really drives me crazy about YouTube, by the way. Because we do this. We look at people, we go to their channel and we love their content, and we, in the back of our minds, we fill in this perfect life around them. And then we think, oh, I wish I could. And it takes us away from ourselves into some fantasy of desire, desire for something I don't have. And if we would realize that their shit stinks, they bitch at each other, they have problems with money, they have sicknesses, they have things go wrong in their life, and they handle things badly as often as we do. If we can realize that, then, if we can realize it when we're falling prey to the lion of pride, and then we can humble ourselves. Okay, I'm not all that in a bag of chips, you guys. I do what I do, but ooh, my life is messy, just like everybody's. And if we can look at when we have taken humility to the debasement level, to the I'm debasing myself, I'm tearing myself down, I'm going to, do that dance. Then, that's where we need to work with it and bring things into balance. I think the most important thing here is just vulnerability, is just allowing ourselves to be real. As I sat and put my makeup on tonight, and then I had to adjust my eyebrows because they were too dark, and I had to do this and I had to do that. So I look nice. You see, ooh, yes, I look nice on camera. But ooh, most days, no. No, I do not look like that. But, I don't see me. But anyway, it's about being vulnerable and being real. The more we can be real with each other, regardless of, oh, I have a YouTube channel, I'm going out to tens of people. It doesn't make me better than you or anyone else. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. So humility is the antidote to the lion of pride. And then we have the banner of victory over here. And Tara All Victorious came out earlier. I'm going to see if there's anything. I think it just says banner of victory. There's just nothing. Yep, banner of victory. That's what it says. So I think it's just that we can think about that banner and what, think about, what does your banner look like? What does your banner of victory look like? If you had to make a banner of victory, and you know what I'm thinking of? I have like a whole stack of little prayer flags that I made once upon a time, and they have little strings on them. They're each single, but you can tie them together. They're blank prayer flags. So I think I might have to start making some flags. And I'm going to think about, if I were to put up a banner of victory today, what would it look like? What victory am I claiming today? And the victory I'm claiming right now is, here I am on a live stream, and we've been going for 47 minutes and nothing has frozen. That's my banner for tonight. So think about, what would your banner of victory be? And allow yourself to be proud of that victory, but not take it to the extreme. Not take it to the place where you're out of balance with humility and vulnerability. Use your creative wisdom to make your banner of victory. Okay? All right. Om Tare. Thank you. Mother Tara. She's called the Mother of the Buddhas. All right, who's up next? Hey, I haven't broken into an accent yet tonight. You know what? Welcome to what goes on in my head, you guys. When you hear me doing accents, like I said, I talk to myself all the time. All the time. Masks have been a great boon for me because people can't see me talking to myself, because I do it out loud. And I do it in an accent of some sort. And sometimes I do it in French. Sometimes I do it in Japanese. Not very well, but I do. All right, who's next here? No, Tara wants to go again. No, darling, you already went. All right, number 6. The Dreams of Gaia. This is such a beautiful deck, and again, a deck that I have not worked with as often as I should, or no, stop the should, as often as I would like. I will get a deck out and play around with it at night and go, oh my God, I haven't done anything with this deck in a long. I'm going to work with it every day, and then it doesn't happen. I have been working with decks every day, but trying not to blow out my candle. This deck shuffles so well. All right. Please let us in, Gaia dear, and tell us what it is we need to know on this day, in this place. With all of our personal challenges and all of our cultural challenges and our global challenges. Gaia, 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 Mother. Green Earth Mother. Blue Sky Mother. You know, the blue sky belongs to Gaia. Space isn't blue. The blue sky belongs to Gaia. So Gaia's blue sky and green earth and blue oceans. Please, please, please. Nope, I gotta do it this way. Tell us what we need to know tonight. I kind of like the cutting 3 piles. Okay. All right. Let me catch up with messages here before I turn them. The Tarot Wisdom deck, yes. Water equals emotion, air equals thought. Absolutely. What do? That was creative wisdom. You use your mind. The mind. You use your mind to deal with your feelings. And you process the energy of those feelings. Remember, the Tibetans are all about, you feel it all, because there's a lot of energy. Lots of energy in anger. There's a lot of energy in grief. And that is energy that if you let yourself be in it and breathe it in and then transmute it out, you can convert it to usable energy. Okay. Let's see. Structure in the hierarchy shifting. There are those that, yeah. Oh, absolutely. So this is the, Saturn in Scorpio is all about the dominant person. It's the strong man, it's the dictator, it's the tyrant. And we're dealing with this, but in the sixth house, it's about service and workers. And I think it's a reminder who really holds the power here. The big CEOs with all their money, or the people that actually do the work. Actually do the work. I worked for a very small company where they hired a business manager who did that. She kind of bumped herself up the ladder. They were conservative. It was something else. And she didn't know how to do any of the jobs in the place. I did. I worked up from I could do every single job in that place, and she couldn't. And she took me out. She took me out because I was a big threat. But anyhow, back to messages. Sorry for that diversion. Consciousness shifts on its own, for the mind finds the soul even with or without a body. Mind is tied to the body. Well, soul, mind. The thing that we have to understand is that this identity, we can say consciousness, but think about identity. Me, Luna, this person with my memories and my experiences. This does not stick around when we die. This identity is part of mind, body, mind. So there's mind that is attached to body, and then there's soul, spirit, eternal, that is, when this identity falls away, spirit has no issue with that. Because it's like, now I really remember, But, mind, as far as the holder of memories and the learner of earthly things, is tied to the body. But that and spirit certainly interact. Okay. Got some itty bitty dice. Yay! Oh, good. All right. Well, maybe we can do some Irish for a while then. Or we could go to Scottish too. All right. The piles. Here we are. We have the 8 of Earth. We have the 1 of Fire. And we have King of Earth. Okay. So look at the Earth bracketing here. Look at the wealth. I'm just going to go straight intuitively, and then we can go grab the book. And I don't have problems grabbing books with these, because this is, my time to really pull decks out and play. And you get to see things at work too. So she has this staff and the glorious, leaves in her hair. And this orb that she holds. This is the power of manifestation. The power of being in a body. The power of being manifest. The power of Earth is the power of being manifest. And through this earthly manifestation of body, we can affect manifestation of so many other things. We can plant, we can weave, we can sew, we can cook, we can write, we can do all the things that these hands and this mind can do. And that is certainly earthly power. And then we've got King of Earth. I'm going to the book now. And then we got, look at the dragon in the middle with this spider. All right. I forget what order they have the elements in this deck. Earth comes first. What's great about this book? Look, there's a black page in between all the suits, so it's very easy to get there. Okay. And this I'm looking up because the Dreams of Gaia Tarot is really its own system. It does not follow the Waite Smith or the Thoth or the anything. It is its own system. Growth, manifestation, there we go, accomplishment, success, abundance, wealth, appreciation. It certainly comes through in that picture. Look at the wealth that is on her and around her. Success, wealth, and love. Do what you love what you do. Make plans for the future, a time of abundance ahead. Confidence in a future outcome. Do not rest on your laurels. Money does not buy happiness, and lose the lack mentality. So it is talking, giving us the messages we've been talking about so far of adjusting your mind around things. Don't rest on your laurels means don't collapse into pride and think that that's going to carry you for the rest of your life. You can use your satisfaction in your accomplishment, your bump in self-esteem, and your rightful pride in a job well done to spur you on to the next one, as the Ace of Wands here, basically the one of fire, is saying, and what are you going to do now? So look at all of the abundance that we have here. Abundance, accomplishment, wherewithal. This is wherewithal. Things I can put my hand to. And when I start getting lost in all the shit that's going on, I have to bring myself back to, and the worry, it's worry. Like they say, worry is borrowing trouble. Worry about what's going to happen. What if? And it's like, stop and look around you. Look around at, the abundance that I have around me right now. It's amazing. So we have the wherewithal here. What are we going to do with it? He says new beginnings, initiative, action, conception, invention, creation, creativity, procrastination. So this is also about identifying what is within our grasp. What is within our grasp? She's holding the orb. This is where our power lies, the thing that is in my hands to do. Not that. I cannot run out and indict Donald Trump. I can't. It's out of my hands. But Ohio is having another special election on August 2nd, and the ballot's this long, but I'm going to go and vote because it has to do with local politics and state politics. And I will be there. So look at what is in your hand, what is within your grasp. What can you put your hand to? Use those things. What are you going to do to start a new beginning? And what causes? Fire your passion. What things do you see that need your energy, that need your contribution? And let's remember too that the concept of enough, that we don't have to do it all, but we have to make our contribution. Here's what's there that needs to be done. Here's my part. I'm going to do my part. And do it with a will. And if everyone does their part, Saturn is also responsibility. If everyone does the Saturn thing and does their duty and their responsibility, then Scorpio comes in. We can move fucking mountains. We can take down the tyrants. We can serve all of humanity. Okay, creation, creativity. It's also procrastination. Uncertainty inspires procrastination. So being sure of what you can put your hand to, what is within your grasp to do, is a way to keep yourself from becoming uncertain. All right, let's look at the King of Earth. King of Earth, virile, successful, industrious, devoted, steadfast, authoritative, reliable, and dedicated. Well, that is very Saturn-y. Industrious, devoted, steadfast, authoritative, reliable, dedicated. All of those are Saturn keywords. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Virile is more Mars, but Saturn has all the rest of them. It says, take pride in accomplishments. Pay it forward. Honor your process. Now is not the time to make changes. All right, we didn't ask a question like that. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Yes. Free yourself from control. Saturn is also control. Don't be lazy. Abuse or misuse of power. So we're looking at two sides of this coin here. This can be abuse and misuse of power. But freeing yourself from control, I'm not going to dwell on that one. I think that take pride in your accomplishments, honor your process, pay it forward, do what you can do. Just do what you can. And then you can feel like, okay, I've done something. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. Oh, looky, the drumming's done. Now I got to go back to. So the message here is be practical about what you can do what you can, get it started. And if this just means in pulling your life out of the tailspin right now, then that is something. When you can free one human being from oppression, even if it's freeing yourself from the oppression of your own mind, then you have taken a step towards freeing all beings. The Tibetans and the Buddhists know that when you work for your own enlightenment, at the end you always dedicate it to the benefit of all beings. You always give it away. You've already gained the benefit, you've done the work, and now I do the work for others as well. Okay. Whew, off and swinging. Who's next? Number 2. The Priestess of Light. Ooh, I love this oracle. Ah, okay, dear priestesses. Come out and talk to us. Tell us what we need to know. This is that thick cardstock. Priestesses, come. What messages do you have for us tonight? Come. Come. All right. Oh, got a short stack on the last one there. Why I'm starting from this side, I do not know. Okay, well, I started from the right, so I'm going to read from the right. This is also placing yourself in that place of trust. Trust your intuition, trust your body. You know, sometimes you have something in mind, but your body goes to do another thing, and it's like, oh, that was a mistake. No, what is your body trying to tell you there, right? So my body wanted to start from the right here. We have sacred breath and sound, life force, communication. One of the things that I've been doing a lot more is just singing and vibrating. When you tone, when you hum, it sends healing energy to your vagus nerve. And your vagus nerve has to do with like all of the things that you don't control. And there's a thing called vasovagal syncope where you pass out, get to a place that you just pass out either through activity or standing up too fast or whatever. And that's one of the things you can do to sort of help strengthen your vagus nerve. But sacred breath and sound, there is a channel called Gaia, and there's a show on it about sound, and it's unbelievable. Really, really unbelievable. Sound vibration, breath and vocal sound are intimately connected. And this talks about life force, not just communication and words and talking. It's life force. So using the voice and the breath in a magical way. Abara hadabara. As I speak, so it is. It's speaking things into existence. And back in the day, there was a time, a long time ago, once upon a time, when someone's word was golden. If someone gave their word, there was no need for a contract because it was honored. This is the way business was done. When there wasn't emails and all this kind of stuff. And maybe when some people couldn't read and write, your word was your bond. And we have diluted that terribly. There's so much just blabby, quacky communication. Not communication, just blabbing and quacking. If there's real communication going on, that's a worthy thing. But there's just so much quacking going on. So chirping, sometimes they call it, hockey players. There's a lot of chirping. So this is talking about connecting with the breath, doing yoga or meditation that really has you breathing well and deeply and focusing on the breath. And then using that breath to put out sound that carries words that carry intention. Speaking your magic into being. And when you don't have magic to put out there, not speaking. Here we have deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. So we've got a lot of stuff that's getting dredged up from the deep with all of these horrendous things. Oh, and I didn't even mention Illinois. So we've got all this stuff coming up. We've got plenty of rage. We have grief. But below all of that, we've got fear. Underneath the bedrock is this fear. And what a battle it is, and what an act of intention it is to transmute that fear, to address that fear, to look it in the eyes and say, show me your worst, show yourself to me. I had a terrible dream this morning. My son and I were supposed to be driving about 40 minutes away for an appointment that he had at a new place, and it was supposed to be like a one-time appointment. And first of all, just driving on expressways, me no likey, but I got to do it. And, I drove to New York City by myself and home from Washington, D.C. by myself. I drove through New York City by myself, for God's sakes. So, I have to remind myself of the things I'm capable of. But it's like we will go, and then there was a storm that was going to be hitting right. So it's like, okay, we got to leave 15 minutes earlier because I do not want to be on an expressway in a storm. And, all this stuff. And we were 10 minutes from walking out the door, and a call came of, oh, you made an appointment. I see you made an appointment with me, and if it's this that you need, I don't do that. We don't do that here. So the appointment got canceled. But so I had this coming up, that there was this drive this morning, and before, those morning dreams, the ones you remember, I dreamt that we drove out of our driveway, and my complex has another driveway, and we were headed towards that, and there were these things in the road. And first thing I saw was this big empty boot, and it's like, what is, and then the next thing I saw was the leg that was in that boot, just the leg. And we're driving, and I'm like looking, I saw like a half of an upper jaw with the teeth in it, and I remember thinking, what happened here? And then I turned onto our little highway that goes past us, and there was like this gouge through the earth and up across the highway of something just gouging its way through. And that was the end of the dream. But it's like, what the fuck? Well, that is anxiety brain for you. I've got to drive. I'll spend some time with that. Anybody got any input? I'm open. I think I'd like to hear what you think. But yeah, it was just like, wow. And of course, the intersection we were headed to was the intersection where my husband had his accident 3 years ago. So sitting there minding his own business. So anyway, deep emotions, fears coming up, stuff coming up from the unconscious, stuff coming up from the subconscious. And we need to address these. It says unknown feelings. This is one of the wonderful parts of ritual, is where you can drop the outer world, come in, be in your safe place, and just let your guard down. And, pull some decks out, look, and go digging. What's down in there that I can look at? What am I hiding away from? Or what's hiding away from me? So this talks about going through deep emotions, and past life influences says, yeah, these are karmic cycles on this planet. We've been through this round and round and round again. But now we're going through it on such a global level where there's mass immediate communication about things. So we really have potential here to transform things on a global level. So, and then the last we have here is portal. infinite mind, awakening consciousness. So we get past this, the emotional body. And, emotions are physical. They're part of our body. They must be taken care of. We don't push them aside. We don't shove them down. We don't swallow them whole. We feel them. So we come and we do our sacred breathing, which can bring us into contact with the emotions that we're carrying, the things that need to be felt and the things that need to be transformed, the energy that needs to be reclaimed from the suppression of those emotions. And then the portal opens and we can experience infinite mind. We can experience that flash of consciousness of things are so much bigger than this. It's really funny I'm full of stories tonight. When I was in grade school and completely unable to do homework, not knowing I had ADHD back then, and I would worry about things, but I couldn't make myself do it. It was executive dysfunction, and I had no instruction from my parents, so I just couldn't make myself, but I was worrying and just tying myself in knots because of it. And I would be so worried, and then I would have a moment, and these are my guides, I would have a moment of, someday this is not going to matter. This right here that you're so stressed about, this is not going to matter at all. And I would just go, okay, and be able to let it go. That was Spirit talking to me, saying, honey, it's okay. You're going to be okay. And knowing that, there just wasn't any help for me. I didn't know what my problem was. I didn't know how to ask for help, or even that it was possible to ask for help. And there was nobody saying, hey, what's wrong with her? Or my parents would ask me something, why don't you blah, blah, and I'd say, I don't know, which was the truth. I don't know. So, so we can kind of hook into that now. Accept that the things we're dealing with now do matter. Someday, far, far, far down the road, yes, they will matter. What we do about climate change now does matter and will matter long after we're dead. So, we can look at things in those terms. What is it that will matter long term, and what is it that won't matter? And kind of decide where we want to put our energy. But then we always need to come back to processing the emotions that come up around those things and freeing that energy so that we can have those flashes of, it's going to be all right. Life is eternal. Wow. That was big. That was big, you guys. That was big, heavy. Chant your prayers. That breath and voice, chant your prayers. So powerful. Okay, who's up next? Wait, I want to catch up with messages. Sorry. All right. The accents. Joining the feminine and masculine are always joined, and the dragon in the middle is the coming out in the light of day. Yep. Well, and it really is, more personal than, their shit coming out into the light of day. It's recognizing what our power is and activating it. I see that dragon in the middle as activating the resources that we possess. Okay. Something about the containers we put around ourselves, around the masculine and feminine aspects of the divine. Okay. I'll have to think on that. I'll have to think on the containers, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, what's up next? Who is up next? Number 1, the Fountain Tarot. Here we go. Look at this beautiful silver deck. All right, Fountain. I heard somebody, I don't know who it was, talking about sharp gilding, the edge of the gilding, and I'm getting it. I didn't know what she was talking about, but it seems that gilded decks are this, it has to be a cardstock thick enough to gild on the edge, to have a flat surface on the edge, and it is sharp. It kind kind of digs into your fingers. All right. I'm kind of beaten up on this deck right now because I want it to loosen just a little bit. All right, we're going to do one more riffle. All right, and then okay, here we go. Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Sun, and the Empress. Ooh. Okay. So Page of Cups is about that kind of emotional innocence and curiosity, that willingness to look, that awakening of of the desire to understand your feelings and look into them. Page of Cups has always represented for me too kind of beginning practices as far as emotions go, meditating, doing some kind of structured thing to deal with emotional energy. Sorry, I'm looking because we're past the golden hour now. It's the red hour. The trunks of trees in the woods are ruby red. And there was just a big breeze that kicked up, and I thought maybe another rain was coming in. But it caught my attention. All right. Revenons à nos moutons. Let's pull out the book, because what's really cool about the fountain deck is each card has a little phrase to it, like 2 or 3 words. And it's wonderful. So, the Page of Cups is a waking self. A young child sits alone with a magical box. As he plays, he begins to imagine who he is as a person. There you are, that curiosity. Who am I? How do I feel about this? I'm different from my parents. How am I different? What do I feel? Let's see. Though the emotions may be immature and the thoughts naive, it's the dawning of spiritual awareness. The Page of Cups can be as confusing to himself as he is to everybody else, but there's something new happening within him, and he's doing his best to describe it. His ideas seem excessive and implausible, but they contain glimpses of truth that will illuminate his spirit. So the meaning is a message, childlike curiosity and joy, a new development, wonder, a sensitive and artistic youth, imagination, a pregnancy or birth. So we can look at young women here confronting this fear for the first time. Let's go through all of them, and then we'll start really pulling. Then we have the Ace of Cups. The phrase here is emotional connection, and you look at these 2 doves. On the edge of this just beautiful glass shimmering cup. So, of course, the aces are just the raw elemental energy themselves. This is emotion. What is emotion? Water, for me, when I'm talking about like elements and ritual, water is about connection. It is what connects us to life. You know, when we have an emotion about something, we've taken in something and we're having a reaction. So it is our connection, that wheel that turns through life. And it's also our connection to each other. When we communicate with each other and feelings are exchanged, and, you know, the connection is in the emotional body. There's mental connections too. But when we have like a friendship and we're feeling compassion and support for or from someone, it's an emotional connection. So we're talking about discovering emotions, really connecting with them, and then the Sun. Absolute joy. So only by connecting with our emotions can we reach joy. If we are blocking grief, if we are blocking other kinds of emotions, we will also block out the depth of the potential of joy. You know? So if we are curious enough to connect with ourselves, that is where joy lies. And you know what I figured out, after all these years? No, you figured these things out again and again and again. All right, let's see here. Yes, that's what I thought. Got to go back to the drumming. Here we go. So I went through a period of a couple of weeks there where, things were crashing and burning. I couldn't do a live stream, didn't have this outlet. And I was grabbing decks and, trying to do readings for myself and just not connecting. And of course, that means I'm not connected to myself, that I was not connected to myself. The day when Roe went down in flames by the extreme court, I'm not calling them the Supreme Court anymore. They're supreme assholes and they are the extreme court. That was the day when things burst and my son was just beside himself and we came up and did our spell work. And that got me hooked in again and connected. Boredom is a symptom of disconnection from yourself. Just that feeling of stuckness when your decks just go mute or your own ears go deaf and can't hear what the deck is telling you. Those are symptoms of disconnection. So this is all talking about connecting with yourself because that is the process. That's the road to joy. And then we have the Empress on this side. Oh, yes, this is certainly talking about Roe. And this is talking about being empowered as mothers. And I've been preaching the Lysistrata gospel for a long time now. And boy, do we ever need a Lysistrata right now. So absolute joy, and the Empress says abundant creation. So here we go again. When we connect with ourselves emotionally, there's a deep, deep well. A deep, deep well. And with the brilliance of our spirit, with our creativity, with who we know we are, that light that we want to shine forth, we can create. This is the foundation. Staying emotionally connected is the foundation. Now, again, you don't have to stay emotionally connected to the tragedies that are going on around there. You can send compassion, but you don't have to step into that reality that is not yours right now. That old thing about, when people are in a choir and everybody's got to hold a note for a long time, you stagger breathing. Some people are singing while other people are breathing. So this is what we do. We take over for each other. When people are in the extremity of grief and they're absolutely taken down, then the rest of us get busy. And when, if we go along with them in their grief, like in fact consuming and watching and weeping and crying, we can do that in order to clean ourselves out. We can do that in order to connect with the emotions and move the energy. But there comes a point when, once again, that 8 of Earth, what is really in your hand? Is that your experience right now? You can know it's happening, but you do not have to immerse yourself in it in order to feel compassion and in order to do something about it. All right? So be mindful of where you are emotionally. Absolutely connect with yourself. But be wise, be conscious, make choices, son, about where you want to go emotionally. Emotionally, stay centered in your own life. Stay centered in your own life and experience the emotions in your own life. You can witness the emotions. You can be there, hold space, witness. And then you use the awareness of that to be active, in your own life, as we've talked about before. And the Empress is that absolute creativity and the reminder that we are the bearers of life. Women are the bearers of life, and there is no alternative to that right now. And if women withdrew their services from the world, including that of making children, imagine a year with no babies. Imagine the diaper companies. Imagine the formula companies. Imagine a school with no kindergarten for a year, then no first grade, no second grade. Imagine what would happen if we decided to go more than a year. So that's a reminder of the power that we have as women and mothers. One of the things we need to clean out is the bill of goods that we have been sold as the weaker sex. Who's the weaker sex? We're not throwing ketchup against the wall in our jobs. You know? So I could go on. I think I shan't. I think we've got the message. So, wow. Good message. Good. Whew. This is so much fun, you guys. I have missed you so much. I have missed this so much. It was so frustrating. Ah, I'm so glad. Okay. There's that sun, absolute joy. All right. Messages. Okay. Appetizer for the meal. All right. Playful. Yes, play. Absolutely. Play is how we learn. This is where, the revolution needs to happen on so many levels. And I would love to see schools becoming just the centers of play that they need to be so that children can learn. I don't understand what's going on here. Okay, whatever. So, yeah. Let's go on next. Number 4, the Lantern. Now, the Lantern Oracle is a deck that can take us to some dark places, but they're the places that we need to go. And it's called the Lantern for a reason. It can show you the darkness and then shine a light. This deck has been edged to in black, as you can see. Look at how wonderful that is. I am very glad that I did start doing the deck mods. I still don't think I will ever cut off borders, because that's just too much even for me. But edging them, that's a great evening's activity while you're watching TV. But I learned something about edging. I took my Froude's Fairies and I tried to edge it in gold, and it really didn't work because the deck is so frosty and soft and fuzzy on the edges from use that it just didn't really work. Okay. All right, Lantern. She's telling me she wants me to cut. Oh, yes. We are definitely going to some dark places here. All right. We have sharing. There is giving in receiving and receiving in giving. Absolutely. One of the most wonderful things you can do is learn how to receive graciously. I had a woman that I worked with when I was in my early 20s, and just a hot mess, going through a divorce, all kinds of shit. And she would give me a compliment, and I would say, oh no, well, I will start poo-pooing and minimizing and doing all that, that low self-esteem dance. And she would stop me and say, smile and say thank you. So I learned, when somebody gives me a compliment and I'm feeling that discomfort inside, I don't need to reward their gift with my discomfort. So you learn how to say thank you so much. And I used to be terribly ginchy about people, not paying for my services, but just giving me money in some way, or giving me more money than I was asking for. And you don't really need, and no matter how bad I needed the money. And so I've learned, when people are offering it, I take it between my palms. Thank you. Thank you so much. and offer sincere gratitude and thanks without, oh, I'll use it to do this or blah, blah, blah. You don't have to go on and on. Thank you so much. It means a lot. That's all. That's how you return the gift immediately. So sharing is a wheel. Giving and receiving is a wheel. And if you cut off one end of that, somebody that takes and never gives, somebody that gives and will never receive, the wheel stops turning. The wheel gets bogged down. Then in the middle here we have presence of absence. Hold what is absent in the presence of your love. So we're addressing grief here. The things that we have lost, the people that we have lost. People is what we think of immediately, the relationships, people, pets that are dear to us that we've lost. But we also have lost, when we lose these basic rights legally, because the basic right is there. You have the basic right. It's the law that is trying to keep you from accessing that right. So this is one of the things that we do, is we claim our basic human rights, and then we work on the legal part. But when we have things that gut us like that hit you just, right in the gut, and you feel it palpably and physically, there is a grief process around that loss, and it is helpful, I think, if we really take the time to identify what specifically is lost for us. What did I just lose? A lot of times what we're losing is an illusion. I had the illusion that a horrendous shooting like Jayland Walker can't happen here. Not in my town, not where I grew up. I lost that illusion a long time ago. But so many people are dealing with that illusion, and when you lose that illusion, it is a death, and you grieve. You grieve the loss of that innocence. We call it innocence, but it really is delusion. It's an illusion. It's not the truth. And well, no, I'm not going to go down that road. So that's the grief that we're talking about here. And then let's look over here. Broken dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. So I want to connect this with sharing. I think I might need to take a couple more. Certainly getting the loss and the grief acknowledged. Broken dreams, when you rip away choice and bodily autonomy from women, think about how many dreams will be lost. I was planning to go to school. I can't remember which state it was. I think it was Texas, of course, where somebody from the hospital, it was like a doctor from one of the hospitals, said, we are now just observing patients with ectopic pregnancies until there is sepsis or their vital signs start tanking. Then they can step in and abort the pregnancy and try to save the mother's life. That's obscene. Absolutely obscene. So a broken dream can be, I was planning on living. I was planning on having my wife here with me and our baby. So let's go some more here. Okay, is that just one? Yes. These cards are so thick. So between sharing and the presence of absence. So there's this turning wheel of sharing, and then we've got somebody that's not contributing to that wheel, or somebody that can't or isn't there anymore. Spirit self, be who you are as you are. And over here we have transitions. You have all of the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. Okay. So we're talking about coming back to spirit self. We've acknowledged that turning wheel, the wheel is no longer turning for women in this country. We are no longer receiving the benefit of enjoying our own human rights and bodily autonomy, and the grief process and the broken dreams. But now we're coming into our spirit self, that can see beyond, that someday this is, someday, and thinking about that day and what that day looks like, tapping into that eternal part of ourselves to help ourselves get beyond the grief in the moment, to get beyond to imagine that there's something beyond this grief, but we're going to be in the grief for a while, is what I'm getting here. This isn't going to be fixed anytime soon. It's going to be fixed, but it's not going to be soon. And it's not going to be fast. And then there's the reminder here that we have the inner resources we need to cross whatever bridges are on our path. It's not talking about obstacles, it's talking about bridges. So this puts the focus on how we get from here to here, how we get from where we are to the new place, the good place. And we have to be able to imagine that new and good place, or we can't get there, right? We won't recognize it when we see it, first of all. So we start connecting with Spirit Self so we can start imagining, here is how we want to see it play out. And I'm talking about specific spell work here too. Thinking about, what you can do energetically, what you can do through spell work. Things are playing out, but we can do things that kind of give a push. We're adding our energy to it. Give it a push. And then once we know that there is an other side, we can find the bridge to get there. Sometimes we're going to build that bridge a brick at a time as we are crossing it, is the message they just gave me. And looky what's at the bottom there, voice. You are here to be known, so speak and be seen. Wow. Wow. So I want to go back to sharing for a minute here. This is also about sharing your resources. And once again, I thank my patrons for sharing your resources with me. Whatever you have that you can share, share it. That is a positive act in itself. But voice down here says, step up and make yourself. Look at these three faces, you guys. So we've got her. She's very young. She's just starting to awaken to her spirit self. She's got kind of that inner, like she's looking inside to that spirit self. And on the other side, we have her, the eternal. Look at her, matriarch. Look at that eye. Oh my goodness. And then we have her. Okay, come on, focus. Look at her. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Look at the harp. So back to the breath and the voice from the Priestesses of Light. Just let chanting, chant your prayers, chant your prayers, chant your prayers. Channel your energy into them. Anger can go into those prayers. It's energy. Do it strong. Do it no holds barred. Go. Go there. Don't hold yourself back when you're doing spell work. Shooey, yooey, yooey. Okay, I'm going to catch up here. Yeah, metallic Sharpies are crap. Okay. Didn't have anybody that could tell me smile and say thank you. Yep. Good. It does. We can get there. But I was very, very young, and I'm glad she told me, because it would have taken me a long time to figure that out. Oh, Sherry, I'm feeling gratitude too, just for being able to be here tonight. And so far, my OBS has not stalled, and the stream is running fine. Maybe next week I'll get brave and not use my phone as my monitor, or play music from the computer, something. Anyway, onward. Let's see. Yes, I enjoy everyone's energy here is amazing. True warriors are not destroyers. True warriors are those who see perceived obstacles and instead view them as stepping stones. That's right. What can I build from this? If we have to tear it down, what can we build from it? The voice ties back to the sound in the... Yep, exactly, Silver, exactly. And yes, hello. We hear women. Oh no, earworm, ah! Get on YouTube and look. I want to do a video about some of my favorite ritual music and stuff, but I don't know. I guess I need to look for things on YouTube, and if they're there on YouTube, and if I just put, if I give credit, I might not get dinged, but I don't have any like strikes against my channel at all, and I don't want to mess that up. But I do want to do a video about music because there are amazing things. The one thing I will tell you, and I can't type this in, damn it, is, I can try, no, sign into chat. Nope. There we go. And what I say in the beginning there is, we begin by releasing the breath. There we go. What was I going to say? Oh. When I was out driving on Saturday, driving by myself and driving and crying. I do a lot of crying in the car. There is a group called Ulali, U-L-A-L-I, Ulali. And the album is called Makchi, M-A-K-H-C-H-I. These are Native American women from various nations. And hoo boy, you want to blow the top of your head off with some power and energy? Yeah, baby. So I will hopefully, I will remember to put that down below for you. You can access that album on YouTube. So, voice, are we going to be singing this week? Are we going to be chanting? Are we going to be bringing some joy into our own lives through those things and shifting some energies and putting out some prayers? Yes, we are. And we have one deck left, and it is our little Liminal Spirits. So we will see what they have to tell us. Hello, little spirits. Let us in. Let us in and bring us a message. Hello and welcome, my dears. Welcome. Oh, they don't want to bend that way. I want them to bend that way. All right. Yeah, they really don't want to bend that way. That's okay. Enough of that. Okay. I got to get my feet flat on the floor. So, not having done a live for a while, I've made an adjustment, I'm noticing, where I've said this before, I go into performance mode, which means I'm like holding my energy up here, energy, tits up, just up like this. And it's like, no, I need to read. So there's this balance thing going on here. And part of it is feet flat on the floor and relaxing into my body. And as soon as I do that, I hit a wall of pain. But equanimity, the pain is there. I do not have to spend emotions on it. It is there, and I can breathe, and I can relax, and I can be in my body and present here with the pain there. This is a skill I have developed over 64 years. Okay. Sometimes they want me to shuffle in between because it's rare that I get a card off the top or the bottom. Oh, did the kitty? Oh, the kitty came out. When I asked this deck if it wanted to play, it was the kitty that came out. Speaking of kitties, where's my Pyewacket? Pyewacket! Where's my Pyewacket? I don't know where he is. All right. Monk's Hood is up first. This is a strange deck to look things up in because she has them in groups. Let me connect with Laura. All right, so the first one is called Monk's Hood, and this will be in herbs. So you see, I mean, this isn't an intuitive thing. I mean, the dark blue, deep dark emotions, things like that, but I don't know what Monk's Hood means, so I do have to look these things up. Monk's Hood, Aconitum napellus, also known as aconite wolf's bane, and devil's helmet, you can see why, is both beautiful and dangerous. Due to Monk's Hood's highly poisonous nature, the herb has underworld associations. Yep, deep dark. Is sacred to Hecate, goddess of the crossroads, and historically has been used for invocations. Invocation. Invocate. You say it out loud to bring it in. Yeah. The herb's bee-drawing flowers, which resemble the heads of hooded and cloaked figures, along with its tall stature, give a guardian-like feeling to this plant. This visual similarity may feed into the lore that Monk's Hood will warn people when danger is near, though it is a deadly being itself. The messages, the phrase cloak and dagger conjures up ideas of intrigue, secrecy, and mystery. And now is the time to give a little more thought to the reality of a potentially dangerous situation. Boy, howdy. It is time to draw your cloak close to your body, avoid being noticed, and be ready to defend yourself just in case. Holy shit. We have a tendency to view guardian spirits as friendly and welcoming in nature, but that's not true of all who may aid us. Though some may be distant and cold, they still are up to the task regardless of our preconceptions about them. Monk's Hood embodies the saying, the witch who cannot hex cannot heal. Oh ho ho! Yes, 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 yes. You have the power to bless and to curse. How do you think we got where we are? What do you think they've been doing to us all these millennia? Is taking away everything but the blessing side. No, you just have to keep giving. As a woman, you give, you give, you give, you give. To curse is to take it back. To take away your assistance. To take away your support. So that they have to deal with their own karma. Magic is neither black nor white, true, good, nor bad. It's how we apply it and take responsibility for our actions that matters most. One person's poison can be another person's miracle cure, all from the same source. So, yes, you can call it positive and negative. You can call it beneficial and baneful. Beneficial, I hope to generate good. Baneful, I hope to reduce something. Beneficial is like growing, abundance. Baneful is, it's just sending people's karma back to them with a foot on the gas, in a spin. It's claiming the right of universal law to right itself. When you do baneful magic, when you do hexing and cursing, first of all, you have to have a claim. You have to have a claim. I claim this. Here is what I want to see happen, and I claim this by my right of, usually the right of the wound that you have suffered, by right of being a human being on this planet that wishes to see things beneficial for all human beings, that wishes to lift things up. And you can lift things up, but you can also send energies back where they belong. Saturn. That's Saturn, the Lord of Karma. So I would put hexing and cursing under Saturn. Just helping karma come home to where it belongs. All right. The next one is cave. And this is going to be under places. I like the way she gives you little note pages here. Wait, I think I passed it. Ocean. Wait. Cave. What the hell's happening here? There we go. Cave. The mythical cave, home of the hermit, lair of monsters, place of mystery, navel of the earth. Omphalos. The cervix. It asks us to use touch and sound to find our way in the dark, right? Feeling internally instead of relying on sight. We must tread slowly and carefully so we don't lose our footing and fall into a chasm. Great care is needed not to be too loud, or the reverberations could cause the structure to collapse or wake sleeping monsters. Oof. A period of adjustment is necessary when entering the cave or leaving it. We must give our eyes and minds time to adjust to the brightness of light and the shadow of darkness in order to see our way. So this talks about that time of pause where we're getting our bearings, you know, where we've either stepped into the light and wow, I understand it now, I get it, that big flash of illumination, and then you got to get your bearings and say, okay, how is this going to change the outer? How is this going to affect the way I operate? And then you've got the ones where suddenly you're in the dark, where you're plunged into the deep dark. Sound familiar? Oh no, oh no, oh no, I can't see my way out. So this is that pause of orientation, reorienting, allowing your eyes to adjust, allowing your senses to adjust. And what happens when sight's taken away? The other senses take over. Hearing and smell become very acute. So this is talking about, I think, that adjustment period that we're in right now and allowing yourself that time to adjust. Withdrawing from the world from time to time can be a much needed and necessary course of action. Exactly what I was saying. The cave is the perfect place in which to hibernate for a bit, lick our wounds, and seek shelter from the storm. Take the time you need to take in order to get yourself functional again. That's what all of tonight's been about, dealing with the emotional energy, getting ourselves functional again. Face your fears by exercising patience and understanding with yourself. You don't need to move any faster than necessary to find your way. It might seem like an eternity in the dark, but this is simply an opportunity to speak with the darkness itself. And then we have cat. I want pie racket. Pie? Where's my pie racket? He's down with the boys, hanging with the boys. I'm the only female in my house of 5 males and me. God. Okay, cat. Tracing back in time, there's a question as to whether we domesticated the cat or it domesticated us. The cat would answer that obviously it chose its own path. With its soothing purr, big eyes, and twitching tail, the cat embodies perception, preservation, patience, curiosity, chance, and confidence. The cat knows the wisdom of soaking up a sunbeam, but it won't pass up the chance to chase prey in the darkness. Its watchful eyes guard its dominion. So I'm going to go through that list again. Perception, with the whiskers, you know. Preservation, I'm going to take care of myself, make sure I survive. Patience, curiosity, chance, and confidence. Okay, messages. If I fits, I sits. Cats are known for perching anywhere they please. We tend to worry about whether we fit in or not and what will others think. Stop worrying about the opinions of others and make yourself comfortable. The world will adjust. Yes. Patience is not only a virtue, it's essential for achieving your goal right now. Timing is everything, so wait for the right moment. And in the meantime, shore up yourself. Get yourself taken care of. Cultivating a sense of curiosity and play will not only satisfy your spirit right now, but also make you more flexible for the challenges to come. Not all preparation should feel like hard work. So at the end, we get the call to play again, as Samantha was saying. that we must play and be able to feel the joy in our lives, like the sun was saying. But the theme for tonight, I think, one of the overriding themes, one of them has been about equanimity and emotional balance, dealing with all the emotional energy we're in, and the other one has been using your breath and your voice. Using your voice, tapping into that energy, connecting with yourself, moving it through, working through your grief, and then transforming that energy and deciding on the thing that you will do that is within your grasp, that you have the power to affect, and activating through passion, through care, activating that in practical steps. And so, yes, talking about these dark places, being able to hibernate for a little bit. I'm going to go back to monkshood again because it didn't stick. Maybe this is why I haven't really worked with this deck a lot. So cloak and dagger, they were talking about. Okay, stealth. You know what okay, here's some stuff I've been thinking about. There's actually, I hear tell, an underground railroad for women starting. All the posts about, hey, if you ever feel a need to go camping in a state that lets you camp, it's happening. People are using VPNs. I don't know about the dark web. I do not have the guts to approach the dark web, but the dark web is there. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about, just how shitty things are getting. And, we tend to think in this country that our Supreme Court goes rogue and that's it, we're done. We're all done, and war breaks out here and that's it, it's all over. But it's not. We have never been in a place we are right now as far as communication. There's that theme again, communication, and our ability to connect and communicate with each other. Now, of course, power grids go down, we don't have that anymore. But I was even talking about, learning how to operate a ham radio, however we can stay connected. One of the things that I want to do with my family is sit down and map out an emergency plan if things should get to a place where power goes out, or just, thinking about the shit can happen. Shit can happen anywhere at any time. We're not in control of it. So what if shit did happen? Where would we gather? What do? We come here because all the tools are here. Pretty much lifetime supply of wood is out there. We have the ability to cook over fire. We have water purifiers. We are sitting on top of an aquifer, stuff like that. Think about these things. It might be terrifying, but it's less terrifying when you have a plan. When you have thought about them, it's way more terrifying when you don't have a plan. I have not experienced this, but many people have. So many people have. Tornadoes, things happen. And it's like, oh my God, I never thought this would happen. What do I do? Well, having anxiety I think about these things happening all the time. But now, instead of just thinking about them happening and freaking out and worrying, making a plan. I'm taking that emotional energy and saying, okay, so what if it did happen? I'm going to sit down and make a plan against that, so now I can put it out of my mind and I'm not generating emotional energy about it anymore. And that is negative energy because it robs you. It takes your usable energy, right? So, looking at the dark stuff, this is talking about cloak and dagger, things being underground, undercover, incognito, having safe havens, safe places to go to and hibernate, being aware and perceptive, and being able to take care of yourself. Cats are survivors, So wow, that last message. But then let's take it to, yes, we've got this big, deep, icky stuff going on, stuff that we still don't know about to come out. We are transitioning from the shock of rapid, extreme changes and letting our eyes adjust to the darkness, the light, whichever it is for you in this moment. And then this is saying, okay, we can perceive all that, see in the dark. First of all, cat's eyes can see in the dark. And we can continue to keep our sense of play in any way that we can, in any way that gives us joy. We have to stay connected to that at all costs. We just do. Okay, you guys. Woo wee. Oh, 2 hours. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Thank you for hanging with me. Wow wee. All right, let's see here. Ulalima. Thank you, Silver. Thank you, thank you. Makchi, yeah, the Heartbeat Drum song, there's a song called Makchi. But look for the album, Makchi, and just listen to it beginning to end. Just listen to it. There's a song called Museum Cases about, I saw them lying stacked high on shelves, cardboard boxed and labeled, a skeleton mother holds her embedded child. Uncovered, no blankets, no nothing, just how I was looking at myself buried alive. You know, it's First Nations experiences. So we turn to these survivors, you know. But the first, I'm trying to remember, the first song on the album I think is called Mother Song, or just called Mother. But holy shit, these women move such power with their voices that you will be, I was sobbing the entire way through the album, the first many hundred times I heard it. And goosebumps, tears. It's an incredible album to put on loud, and it will hit you. Let it hit your body. Let it hit your body. Let the emotion and the generations of their grief, you know, these are the people that came up against this tyrannical government long before we did. So let the sound in their voices, in their breath, and a lot of the songs are not words. They're just, you know, syllables for energy to ride on. So go to that album. Thank you so much, Spiral, for Silver, for posting that. And just let their voices move you. Let them move the emotional energy through your body. Release it. Cry it out. Wail it. Take your tears and save them for spell work. Use your tears. There's power in those tears. There's vibration in those tears. Lots of energy. Save them. I anointed both of my parents with my tears when they passed. So, okay, let me go back to Mirror of Hathor. Yes, absolutely. A cave is a portal to the womb of the mother. Indeed it is. Plato's cave, one more from the Luminous deck. Okay, I will, Smith. You know, I was feeling that too, and I just kind of overrode it. You're right. Thank you for that. Yep. Camping. One more. We have birch. All right. The birch is associated with beginnings, flexibility, communication, and cleansing, finding its way into besoms and other tools used to purify and prepare the way as the seasons change. Think about your broom. Sweep it away, sweep it away, sweep it away. The birch tree is known to be a pioneer tree, as it is the first to take root after disaster strikes or the land changes dramatically, emerging from landscapes battered by fire and mudslides. The unusual bark can look like eyes, making us feel that the birches are watching. We have a whole stack of birch bark, like a stack of white birch. Okay, messages. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. Manifest birches. Rising from the ashes. This is Phoenix energy, y'all. Eyes are upon you. Be mindful of what you do and say, because for better or for worse, you are being observed. Hoo-wee! Shed what is unnecessary so that you may begin again. You're treading on new and fresh ground. Wow, 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 wow. First of all, I've been thinking, what am I going to do with that birch bark? And I thought about, covering little boxes for porta-pagans with it. But now I'm thinking I'm going to look through and find the eyes. I'm going to use the eyes on something. Oh, my. All right. So we are the ones that will rise from the scorched earth. This is a reminder that whatever they tear down, they are all going to die someday too. Yes, they are. And there will be life after these devastating things that they're doing. Devastating things that they're doing. There will be life after that. There will be regrowth. We will rise again. Yes, we will. Yes, 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 we will. Thank you, Samantha, for that prompt, because I felt that too, and I ignored it in a weak moment. All right. Well, my friends, wait, I like this. I kind of like this thing right in the middle. I like being in the middle of that. Thank you so very much for being here, and if you feel moved, please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. If you feel super moved, there are links below that you can send me a tip, or you can join my Patreon, which is just $3 a month. I don't offer anything extra. It's just a basic little support for my channel, and as I've said many times before, nothing is too small. And thank you for my donors, my Patreons, not my Patreons, my patrons that have pledged me more than the $3 per month. You're just exceptional. You really are exceptional. And I appreciate you, and I return your generosity to you threefold. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, we did it. We pulled off a live stream. It was a little fiddly, and but you know what? We fucking survive. You ain't gonna take me down, man. I'll figure a way around it one way or another. I mean, I haven't really looked at the monitor. So that tells me I don't have to have my browser running and a monitor running when I'm live streaming, as long as it looks like I'm going on this end. And I do see the chat over here. It just wants me to sign in, and I don't remember I don't know if I have to sign into my YouTube through my OBS, or if I have to sign into the OBS, and I don't remember the password for the OBS. So I'll work that out, and then I can actually talk back to you. So, okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Birch branch. Yes, the birch eyes inside a mirror box. That's cool. All right, you guys, take care. Take care of yourselves. You must, you must, you must. We have a lot of work to do, and we're going to do it together. And I will be here as much as I possibly can. I have a big project ahead of me. I've got the two big stacks of decks, because I saw a hashtag of my adorable decks, and I'm going to do them, but I have to split it in two. I have to do Tarot and then Oracle, because there's so many of them. So I'm going to do adorable decks. And yes, thank you, Roxanne. Thank you, Silver. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you. Let's see who else. Kara. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Becca. Thank you, Karina. Thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and until I see you again, I love you. Blessed be.